Hey everybody, it's Deanna, and I just want to say thank you for joining in. Today we are talking to Dawn from YoFresh Meal Prep in Youngstown, Ohio. So Dawn, I just want to welcome you here and thank you so much for joining in.
Sure. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me out today.
Absolutely, absolutely. So YoFresh Meal Planning is a local meal planning service in Youngstown, Ohio, where the food is actually prepared in Youngstown. It's sourced in Youngstown. Am I correct?
Yes,
And then
that is correct.
delivered, which is
And
like
delivered.
super nice, right?
Right. So you don't
So
have to
so
leave your
tell me a
house.
little bit in your words about YoFresh, because you guys do a lot of stuff down there.
Sure. We got a lot going on. We started this as a simple idea. It was literally that my wife has an autoimmune disease disorder that she needs to not eat gluten. And her being the entrepreneur that she is, she's super busy on the run all the time. And it was literally just a question of, hey, honey, can you make me some meal prep that I can eat that's delicious? So that was kind of where we started. Remember I made a Facebook post, just, hey, is anybody interested in picking up some food this week? And that's kind of how we got started as YoFresh. We started as DR Culinary. That was actually a birthday present. Caroline got me a logo. That was kind of the beginning of it.
Oh, you're kidding. I don't think I knew
Yes.
that.
Yeah, Becky made us a logo in the beginning for our birthday presents. Actually, right here, this DR Culinary one. That was the beginning,
Love it.
right? That was a birthday present from my wife, and she kind of definitely pushed me and helped me along through this whole process. But that's how we got started. It was really just for her. And again, a few people reached out to me that I had interest in ordering food, and we got started that way. We really started as a real small operation in Salem out of a memorial building. They had a very small kitchen I rented on Sunday afternoons. That's kind of how we got started. After that, it's grown into now YoFresh Meal Prep. Probably about 8 months into the DNR Culinary, we transferred to YoFresh Meal Prep. We brought on some other people on board with us. We brought on Laura Zabadil. She's our registered dietitian, and she's also the local owner of Mega Bar Youngstown. So she came on board. Another gentleman, Angelo, he came on board too. He's another local guy at train station in Boardman. Kind of advised us on some things and got us going. And we were fortunate enough to have the Youngstown Kitchen Incubator downtown at the time. And we got in down there, and we just kind of started rolling from there. Fast forward a year later, here we are. I'm in my office, right, at my own space, and we're having this conversation. So it's been quite a whirlwind to get here. And again, the crazy thing was none of it was really planned. It just kind of all fell into place. And that's the kind of weird blessing gift behind it. It was just kind of like here, and again, work hard and put the right people in places, and all these great things just kind of open the doors. So
Yeah,
pretty
you
exciting.
guys really have grown a lot, and it's only been a year.
Sure.
And
Again, yeah, we
it's
started again just with an idea. We have some local gym affiliates. I believe there's 5 or 6 of them, and again, we offer discounts to those members of those gyms. That was really how I think we got introduced into the community. In the beginning, that was our main source of connection. Was through the gyms, and we've grown to bring on, like you mentioned earlier, Second Harvest Food Bank. We brought them on board in the beginning too, as part of our startup in our business. We wanted to give back to the community, and we didn't really know how. We actually went to a class at the Youngstown Business Incubator that talked about Tom's shoes. It was like buy a pair, give a pair. So again, this was early on when we first had the idea of YoFresh. We contacted them and we reached out, so we partnered with them. So now we have a campaign that's buy 10, give 12. So for every 10 meals that are purchased, we donate 12 meals back to Second Harvest. Not actual meals, but in monetary donation. So far this year, we're just under 15,000 meals that have been donated back to Second Harvest right here in the community. So
that
again,
is
like kind of
awesome.
our logo was eat good, feel good, do good. So again, it's here, it's local. You're eating good, you're supporting a small business, and you're feeding people that are needy right here in the valley. So again, that's all been kind of the drive and force behind YoFresh to get us here, I think. So pretty
And just
exciting
for
stuff.
those who are listening, who are not in the Youngstown area, Second Harvest is a food bank that um, helps quite a few people in the community. So, and I love that you've incorporated that into your business plan. Was it when you met Tom? Is that what it was that
Well,
you came up with that idea, like to give back to the community? Because a lot of times when you're starting a business, you're poor. More
sure.
times than not, right? You're in total survival mode. There's
Definitely.
not a big budget. You're building it on a shoestring budget. And the thought for a lot of entrepreneurs to actually give back is like, well, I'll do it when I start making X number of dollars. I'll do it at this point. What
Sure.
was it with you that you're like right from go, let's just do it?
Again, it was just something, again, looking back at it, it was big on my heart. I went through a local program in Ohio, back here in Youngstown, called Ohio Valley Teen Challenge, which actually for some opiate addiction problems that I had. Long story short, I cooked in there, of course. I ended up in the kitchen. So I actually would go to the food bank, and I kind of met some people there, and it was just kind of in the back of my head. And we didn't actually meet Tom, but it was, again, they were talking about the younger generation giving back. They wanted to do more than just like purchase. They were more into like purchasing something that would give back than just make a purchase. I'm like, geez, that's great. Again, it was just what can we do in the Valley that would kind of have an impact? And so again, we didn't really look at the beginning as, oh, we're going to miss that money. We kind of really tried to build it into the price when we first set the price for the meals. We kind of sat down and looked at what it was going to cost and what it would cost us to give back, and kind of built that in. That way, it wasn't like we were missing that money. Sure, I could look at that check that gets written every month and go, yeah, I could have used that somewhere else. Of course I could have. But again, there's people that can use that more than me to start my business. There's people that depend on that to wake up every day and have a breakfast and a lunch and a dinner. So again, that was more of a personal choice that me and Caroline had together to just try to make a difference. Again, it's not just about us as business owners. It's about the communities that we live in. Again, for me, it was just Youngstown. Like, I've grown up here my whole life, and I am kind of Youngstown. I've been through some struggles. I've been hungry. I've known people that were homeless and have ended up in a bad situation. So that was just really at the forefront. So again, it's helped us as a company, but it's also helped give us an identity that's more community driven than just money driven. And I think that's really helped too. Small example, there was a gentleman that came out to do some repair work on a refrigerator. After I told him the story of YoFresh, he told me to put my check away. He repaired my fridge and didn't charge me. And it was like a $180 bill that we discussed beforehand.
Wow.
So it's little things like that I feel like that's the trade-off, right? Like, I could have kept the money from Second Harvest Food Bank, but I would have probably had to spend the money for my fridge to get fixed.
Yeah.
So it's that trade-off. It's that give and take. It's like that reap and sowing kind of deal. So again, we've been really blessed. Even we have some big stuff coming up with the Cavelli Center in Youngstown, with our logo down there and logo on the ice coming in the spring, and all these great community ties that have happened because of community.
Yeah.
So again, it's that investment in the community that's really going to invest back in us. So I think
love
that
it.
was kind of the whole process of it.
That's so wonderful to hear, because Youngstown is about community. I really feel that, like, Youngstown is all about, they really do want to help each other. They really do. And I believe, and this is my opinion, but I believe a lot of your success whatever you do comes back tenfold. This is my feeling. Good and bad. It always comes back to you tenfold. And you guys doing so much for the community. And it's not just even Second Harvest. Like, you guys, you and Caroline, your wife Caroline, who's not part of the interview, but is still like, you two are like frickin' frack with everything. Like, you both have amazingly good hearts. And I think because your intentions are so positive and they're really in a good place, you're not doing it to get to benefit you. And some people do things just to benefit themselves, and you're not. Your intentions, I think, are really pure, and I believe that's why so much success has been coming your way. Because you two, absolutely, you do deserve it. Now, you are a chef by trade. Prior to all this exploding on you, when you had your normal job and life was a little bit quieter, like, maybe it was quieter. I'm thinking,
I don't know if it really was quieter. Yeah, I'm not sure. But
you're a chef, so you've always have been interested in food. I mean, was that something that you've always had?
I would say, again, it's one of those things, like, people are born to do certain things, right? And that was definitely that in my case. I went to school to be a machinist. I was in the Army Reserves for telecommunications. Both pay way more money than cooking does. I could tell you that for sure. But I would find myself, no matter what I would try to go do, the kitchen almost would always call me back. It was, again, it's not who I am. It's in me. It's not what I do. It's who I am. I can't explain it. It just goes back to that putting a plate or a dish in front of somebody and that look of, oh my God, this is so good.
Yeah.
That's always been really, I guess it's almost self-serving, right? That need to feel accepted, maybe as a child, trying to transfer into what I did for a living. But again, I feel it was a gift. It was something that I'm good at. Again, I didn't go to culinary school for this. I've worked around Youngstown area, multiple country clubs and nice places, worked under some great people. and really just try to curve my own style and learn all I could from books and reading. And at the time, this was way before like internet stuff, right? Like Food Network wasn't even a thing. Like, you know, cooks were like pirates back then, right? We weren't rock stars in the forefront like we are now. A bunch of guys in the back cursing and, you know, having a good time. But something about that lifestyle too, you know, it was almost like that rock star lifestyle. And the thing for me is, for the most part, it was catering how I got started. So you were going to work, you were at a party, you know, you were at an event, you were at a celebration. So it was always, for me, it was trying to make that memorable no matter what, you know, so that way there was always a good experience. And even if whatever it was, it'd be like, hey, wow, that chicken was great. Remember that chicken we had? It was delicious. So that's kind of where it's all come from. And again, it's just part of who I am. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy seeing the reaction. It's transferred, again, from just enjoying, you know, letting people enjoy greasy, delicious, you know, bacon fat foods with YoFresh to actually trying to carve out meals that are delicious and healthy. Again, we brought on a registered dietitian for the macro information and stuff, because I'm guilty. I don't always eat right. I don't eat the best foods. Doctor asked me recently what my diet looked like, and I told him a spoiled 15-year-old kid. A lot of fruit snacks, beef jerky, you know, cereal. Again, I'm in the kitchen all day. I'm around food. I snack throughout the day. I'd say I graze a lot. I taste food. But at the end of the day, once I get home too, I don't want to sit down and cook. So what do? I eat a bowl of cereal or grab a bag of chips.
Yeah.
But again, knowing that I need to eat right. And again, there's other people out there too that have the same problem, that are busy, that are entrepreneurs, that are moms, that are dads, that are trying to, you know, make a better community themselves, but don't have time to take care of themselves, don't have time to eat right. And I guess down the road, long term, that's going to affect all of us. And again, that was kind of a part of this whole process for me, has been a transformation on how I look at food, and how I see it. And again, food's great. Like, it's something, you know, you almost get to provide somebody with life every day. Like, and you know, it's weird to think about, but I'm a sustainer. Like, I provide people with food to sustain their days, to give them nutrition, to do what they do. So it's kind of cool, you know. It's really neat to think about as a bigger picture, not just really giving somebody a microwave meal, but, you know, providing a service that helps them eat right, that helps them maintain health goals, that helps them achieve goals, you know, that fuels them to get through their day. So it's been really cool. Definitely a really cool experience.
Now, you brought on a dietitian, which you've mentioned a couple times. Now, have you had her on from the beginning?
Yes. From the very beginning, from the beginning of YoFresh, yes. Okay. We kind of sat down and we knew that the direction we wanted to go into, that either I had to go get some schooling and take some time to learn all the macros and nutritions and all that stuff, because I can make food taste good. That's kind of what I do, right? Like, but I didn't really know the back end of it, and really, I guess, the fuel of food and how it worked in your body. I just know how to make it taste good. So without having to take all of my time and focus on a whole nother learning curve of information, we found somebody that was local. We talked to them about our mission, what we were doing, and kind of brought them on board. So again, it helps her too, because now at her studio, she's able to promote my product to help her clients reach the goals that she's trying to help them reach in the beginning, you know? So it's kind of a cool circle of community, like we talked about earlier.
And I think it's interesting because you wanted to provide a healthier lifestyle. I mean, because your wife said she wanted some healthy meals. So you could have guessed, you know, like, well, I know that we all kind of have an idea of what's healthy and what's not, right? We know that broccoli is healthier than that bowl of cereal, but you really wanted to make sure that what you were presenting was exactly what you were saying, and that it fit into whoever's diet. And I have to say, because I've tried your meals, obviously, and they are amazing. And initially I was a little hesitant about doing it because you guys are fairly new, and I'm like, if it's going to be like healthy and meal prep, it's going to be super bland. And because I've known people my niece competed, like in competition. So I remember when my niece was going through those bikini competitions, and she was doing chicken and boiling it, and everything was kind of bland. But you are so not bland. You're like it is seasoned, and it tastes amazing, and you don't even realize that it's healthy.
That was the beauty of being able to bring Laura on board, because I could sit down and give her, at the beginning, we just kind of gave her my recipes and thoughts I had on paper. And then she would go through and refine them and go, okay, that's way too much oil. That's way too much fat. That's, you know, too much salt. Can we trim this? Can we cut that? So having her almost as a check for me to keep me within parameters of healthiness has really been crucial as we've gotten to that point. Again, we've also incorporated an app. There's actually a MyFitnessPal app that you can use to scan the top of the label. So that was part of it too, with the nutrition count and getting all the macro information. You could just take a picture and scan the top of the box from the label, and it tracks your food, and it's all right there in an app. We haven't really got to promote that a whole lot, but I think as we're getting ready to move forward too, I really want to use that to push YoFresh, because again, knowing what I know, that it's an Under Armour app, and I know that that's a big brand and people will follow that brand because of who it is. So if we can actually promote that we're tied in with their app, I think it'll help us grow even a little bit more too. More just brand recognition. Like you said, yeah, who's YoFresh? But you're like, hey, Under Armour, I know who that is.
Yeah.
But again, we're getting there, right? So we got our logo in some places in town, and again, as we get there, you'll see that logo and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's YoFresh.
So a little fun fact: did you know that one of the founders of Under Armour went to Youngstown State?
I did not know that.
Yeah, Ryan Wood. It was his friend who actually, Kevin, who started it, but he called Ryan, who was played football at YSU during when Tressel was coaching in the Fun Championship years. And he helped him out. But yeah, and he has actually come back to speak at YSU, which was super cool to hear him speak too. So they've got a little Youngstown connection in there.
That's kind of cool.
Little one.
Right. That's good. I should reach out to Under Armour.
Yeah, right. So when you decided, you said this was all pretty much organic, like it all just fell into place. But every business has some sort of challenges when they start. What was like your biggest challenge in the beginning?
For me personally, my personal biggest challenge was fear, change, unknown, all that self-doubt. All of those things, who am I to think I can run a business? I've never been outside the doors of the kitchen. I don't know anything about business. I'm a food guy. All of that for me was really the hardest part of it. And again, just being pretty candid here, midway through this past summer for YoFresh, I actually went to some therapy and actually get some more counseling and stuff like that. And that's helped me a lot too. Through my depression. I mean, there was days in the beginning of summer, at the beginning of YoFresh, that it was all I could do was to get up and show up to YoFresh.
Wow.
But again, a lot of it's been mental health, the mental health and part of that for me. That's been my struggle. That's really been where my struggle's been. It's been my self-doubt and my mental health. But again, realizing that, noticing that, again, some therapy, some counseling, some stuff like that, has really made things a lot easier the later half of this year. Because of it. But those were my struggles. It was my self-doubt. It was the fear, anxiety. Again, it was almost crippling at times. Again, Caroline would really kind of have to yell at me like, just get up and go cook, bro. That's all I need you to do today. Just go cook. Like, I need you to do that. Like, get out of bed, go cook. But for me, that was the challenge. Trusting my instincts, trusting the plan that all this is happening for a reason. That's all it wasn't the cooking part of it. It really wasn't the leadership part of it for me. It wasn't the financial part. Again, we've been pretty lucky and blessed with everything the way it's worked out. It was really my biggest problem in the beginning of YoFresh was me.
Yeah.
So
what do you tell yourself when that starts to creep in a little bit, right? Because we all get that head check. And once we think we've overcome it, it creeps in again because we're reaching like a new level of we're pushing our boundaries a little bit more. When that starts to creep in and that fear starts to happen, what do you tell yourself to overcome it?
A lot of times it's just the stop and stop. It's stopping the voices in my head first and foremost, and then looking at what we've done. Caroline's really good at right inside the office behind me. Let me see if I can see where we at. Back on. Whoa, back here. All right, these big wins behind me here. She's good at stuff like this, right? So again, there's days that I'll think of like, man, it's been rough. We haven't really done anything. Then I come over here and I can look and go, look at all this stuff we've done this year.
Yes.
We made. So that's really helps too. And it's getting out of my own headspace, right? Like again, this is so bigger than me and so bigger than just what I'm doing and where my head is. Like I said earlier, everything's coming to place the way everything's happened. I don't believe that any of this happened by chance.
I think I lost your sound. Wait.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right.
All right, you're back.
But it all didn't just happen for a reason. So sometimes I would tell myself that we didn't get this far by chance and for no reason. And I also remember myself too, like this is the beginning and there's going to be ups and downs. And looking back at this year, it hasn't been that bad. It's been pretty all good. But I know that it can't always be that way.
Yeah.
I know that there's going to be some rough patches. There's going to be some times that things are going to go our way or that it's going to be hard because that's life.
Yeah.
But again, that's where the mental health comes back into play, and knowing that, you know, it's a lot of it. It's all mental, really. Like how I get up and approach my day, it's on me.
I love it.
How I get up and how I approach my day, and you know, not every day is perfect. Not every day is good. I have bad days just like everybody else. But again, it's realizing that it's not just about me and that it's bigger than my day. Again, like there's people that if I don't get up and do what I do, there's people that don't get to eat this day, or there's people that, you know, that I'm going to interact with that are going to miss something. So that's a big part of it for me.
That's good stuff. I love that. I do. And I love seeing Caroline's wins. In the Entrepreneur Society, we'll do Wednesday wins where it's like, you know, what is your win for the week or the month or whatever, right? Because I think that's such a good point, what you said. And I loved hearing that again, because I think we're always looking ahead and we're pushing ourselves to be better, to do more, to do better, to whatever. We're pushing. And we forget to stop and appreciate how far we've come, right?
Sure.
Because we just, we're hard on ourselves.
We're extremely, you know,
we're really
extremely hard on
ourselves.
myself.
So I think her putting that board up or that paper up with the wins is such a cool idea. I think more people should do that, just to take a minute and say, hey, look at what you've accomplished. Like this is cool. So, and you guys, you've just moved to a new location, correct?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
we are in our own space.
Traveling, so I thought I saw something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
and that's been exciting.
Where is it at? Is it at a location that people can or is it just, is it a kitchen?
No, there is a kitchen, and we do have like a space in back. We are actually in the back of a plaza in Canfield, right off Route 11.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah, Belleria, Zenobia. You're probably familiar.
Yeah.
We're right in the back of that plaza.
Oh my gosh, that's where I was just at when I was back in Ohio, right there in that area.
Yeah, we're right in the plaza.
Congratulations. That's
so
awesome.
Not only is it a kitchen space, it's a pickup space, so we can have our meal pickup here, and we have plans as we grow to be able to have like different meals throughout the week, like our normal meal prep Monday through Friday meal prep. But say you didn't order food, but we can do a special or something. We cook something on Wednesdays in the summertime. You come by and pick up barbecue. So we got some good plans on coming up and being more available to the public. So it's very exciting.
So how can, if somebody is interested in purchasing your food, are they able to get one meal? Do they sign up for a week, a month? Like what's the process? How does this work?
Sure. We're pretty flexible. You can order up to, you can order as many meals a week as you wanted to, but it's based off of, we have 5 and 10 meal packs. And there's a flex option in there too. So if you want to do anywhere between 5, 6, 7, 8, that's available as well. Everything's available online. You go on, you pick your meal pack you'd like. We have some cool local add-ons too that we partnered with. There's a local company called Nash Bar. They have protein bars. We partnered with them. And a company called Plant Love, and they actually make avocado pudding here locally, and that's available on our website too. Ooh. And that is at eatyofreshfood.com. And so yes, everything you get online, put it in your cart. You can pick up here in Canfield. You can have delivered to your house on Sundays. And again, now that we're in our own space, we're also looking to do more catering. So that's going to be good too.
Really?
We definitely want to hit the catering side of stuff, so that way it's not always the same pizza on Friday delivered to work. Maybe you get a pan of chicken and green beans instead and stuff like that. So
great.
When
do you think that you may implement?
I'm ready to cater now. Yeah, we could cater now. Again, right before the holidays, we're actually getting some stuff together to put on our website to have some catering options available. But even as we grow into that space, it really won't be so much as a menu as a personal catering experience where you come in, sit down, we talk about your party, what you're doing, your budget, what you like to spend, where you're going to have your party, and kind of build custom catering packages, not just so much YoFresh stuff, but just really custom catering.
Okay, very cool. If there's a new business that would come to you or that's listening right now, they're thinking of starting a business, what advice would you give them?
Be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Give yourself a break. Give yourself time to grow. Don't try to do everything all at once, and try to stay in your lane and do what you do, but do it really well. And then once you have that lane, kind of stay there. and make sure that you maintain that lane. I see a lot of people sometimes trying to get out and maybe doing too many things and throwing everything at the wall and trying to see what sticks.
Yeah.
But just kind of stick to what you're good at. Like, what do you feel in your heart? What's your niche? Like you always said, who's your customer? Who are you selling to? Well, I forget her name now, but I remember she had a name.
My customer,
yeah,
Gracie?
Yeah, Gracie, right. Like, who's your Gracie, right?
My imaginary customer.
Right. So find that person and work on that. It's something that I'm working on too, is more so customer service based. We get a lot of questions sometimes, and me and Caroline both still work full-time jobs. So sometimes we'll get a lot of questions in the middle of the day, and our response will be, hey, check out our FAQs on our Facebook, on our website. But I'm working on really trying to build more relationship with that and getting to, take that time out of wherever I'm at to stop and go, hey, I'm busy right now, but can I call you later today? We could talk about YoFresh. But I think that's part of where we're at too. But stay in your lane, do what you do, and make sure your customers are first. Because without them, what are you going to do?
Good point. Make sure your customers are first, right? The basics.
That's what I'm working on. It's hard for me, because I have a full-time job and I have a life and I'm busy and I have stuff I have to do on my day off. And so sometimes those calls and questions, I might not want to respond to them. But at the end of the day, I'm ignoring a sale or brushing off a sale because I'm busy doing something else. So don't let that happen. Don't be distracted by your normal life while you're trying to grow your grind. So budget your time, grind daily, don't give up, right? Stay focused, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So one fun question for you, right?
Sure.
We're talking about all this food. What's your favorite food? Whether you make it or not, but what's your favorite? Like,
my favorite food is either like a nice ossobuco or short ribs. Like, those are my go-tos. I love short ribs and like grits. But yeah, slow cooked braised meats are my go-tos to eat. Nice big shank, maybe a lamb shank or something like that. Yeah. Now I'm hungry.
Hungry?
I am. I have to go home and start up my Instapot with some short ribs.
That's funny. Well, Dawn, I just want to say thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you for all you do.
I totally
You've helped us out tremendously.
Huh?
You've helped us out tremendously. I went from knowing again, like we talked about, I went from just the back of the house cook to not knowing why I would Instagram or who I would Instagram or why I would even want to Instagram or Facebook or post or any of that stuff. But you've actually helped me get a grip and grasp on social media. And I've actually had some great interactions over the last couple of weeks with some of my posts. So thank you.
You are so welcome. You are the reason I love doing what I do.
Thank you.
You really are. I love watching you. And I know, I remember actually when you came to hear me speak at Go Live, and I was talking about going live. What I didn't know is that you had been hearing that from your wife and Becky.
Yes.
About what you needed to do. So when I said it, I could almost see like, oh, another one, like another one. But you did it, and you started going live, and you started like putting you out there, because that's, people want to know you. They want to know the face behind the brand.
Sure.
And I'm glad you're seeing results with that. I'm glad you're seeing how it does work, and it's fun watching it. It's really been fun watching your business just go to new levels. I know when I saw a picture that your logo was at Cavelli Center, which is a big center where there are concerts and events. It's actually an ice hockey rink as well. And to see YoFresh logo in Cavelli is impressive. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a big one for me. Again, a few years ago, I was in that same space, like sweeping up around the floors and looking at all the logos saying, I want a logo someday. And fast forward, I actually have a logo in that same space. That's a whole other story we could talk about.
Yeah, on the next session.
It's been very cool. Like I said, it's been very good. Super blessed to be here and have everything going on. And again, it's very overwhelming at times, but it's very humbling, very humbling.
I love it. I love your story. I love to see what you're doing. And I just want to say thank you again for joining me today. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.